If you want to be a gentleman, there are certain rules of etiquette that are simply non-negotiable. In years gone by, you might have learned these rules from your father, from your school, or other role models in your life. But today, many young men are growing up without a guide to show them this code of conduct. Etiquette is not a box of chocolates. You don't get to simply pick and choose what you like and what you don't like. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 etiquette rules that every gentleman must obey. A gentleman never shows up empty-handed. Anytime you're invited to somebody's home, whether it's for a birthday celebration, a dinner party, or a more informal gathering, always bring a small gift. This gift can be of a relatively low dollar amount. It's more about showing that you appreciate them hosting you and that you value their friendship. The type of gift you bring should correspond to the type of event you're attending. For example, at a dinner party, you might bring a bottle of wine. However, make sure that the host doesn't feel obliged to serve that wine at dinner. They might have already chosen a wine that is perfectly paired with the dish they are serving. Instead, when you hand it to them, say, "Here's one for your cellar." If you're simply going over your friend's house to watch a football game, then a pack of beers is much more suitable. Flowers and chocolates also have their place. However, personally, I prefer to reserve these for either romantic interests or elderly ladies. A gentleman always waits for everyone's meal to arrive at the table before he begins eating. You will never have to wait more than 2 or 3 minutes until everybody gets their meals, and it's a big show of courtesy. It's not really about the food, it's more about ensuring that everybody enjoys the same experience at the same time. If you've ever been the last one to receive your meal and everyone else has started eating, you'll know how awkward it is to sit there in silence while everyone else is chewing away. Now, there are a couple of exceptions to this rule. If you're at a huge dinner table, for example at a wedding party, then it's acceptable to begin eating once everyone in your immediate vicinity has received their meal. If you're at a dinner party, the host may insist that you begin eating before they sit down themselves with their meal, and I think it's best to follow the host's wishes. A gentleman knows his place and will never force an invite or turn up to an event to which he was not invited. I encourage you to be as social as you can and say yes to almost every invite you get. However, don't ask to be invited to things or turn up to social events to which you were not invited. It's natural to feel left out if you hear of plans which you've not been included in. However, there might be a very non-personal reason you haven't been invited to this event. For example, at a dinner party, there is just a limited number of spaces at the table, and it can be very stressful for a host to try and accommodate and cook for an extra person. As you develop stronger social relationships, you will be invited to more and more things. However, a gentleman is not needy, and he is happy to be alone and make his own adventures when necessary. A gentleman always offers to remove his shoes when entering someone's home. Some people have a shoes off type of house, some people have a shoes on type of house. Others consider some areas of their home to be shoes on and other areas, such as areas with carpet, to be shoes off. Now, I'm a shoes on kind of guy. I have hardwood floors and I don't want my guests to bother taking their shoes off. However, if you have particularly dirty shoes, wet or muddy shoes, then please insist on removing your shoes even if the host says they don't care. Cheers. Toasts are an important social ritual that bond us with friends and family. And in certain cultures, like Eastern European cultures, they are particularly important. That means that a gentleman needs to learn how to toast properly, and that means making eye contact with the person you're toasting with. And as you clink your glasses, repeat the name of the person or the subject to which you are toasting, such as to friendship or to Maria. If there is no particular person or subject that's being toasted, then you can simply say cheers as you clink your glasses. Dressing well is simply good manners, and a gentleman always dresses appropriately for the occasion. Now, style is subjective. However, it is objectively rude to turn up at a nice restaurant in a t-shirt and flip-flops. I am of the opinion that a man should always wear a collared shirt, even if it's just a polo shirt, anytime he's at a restaurant or an event. A man also needs at least one navy suit for those important occasions like weddings and funerals. And for the married men watching, help your wife pick out a dress and an elegant pair of high heels when the time calls for it. A gentleman never leaves home without his clothes ironed. For decades, having ironed clothes was simple common sense, but today, many men don't even own an iron. If you're one of those men, I recommend that you implement a new ritual. Every Sunday, I recommend that you iron all of your shirts for the week so you are never caught out. And remember, there is a big difference between the elegant wrinkles of linen and a dress shirt that you simply didn't bother to iron. If you've made it this far, then you are clearly serious about improving your etiquette and upgrading your life. And that's why I think you would really enjoy this free course that I have made for you called the Gentleman Method. This is a self-improvement blueprint with many action steps and exclusive videos that all revolve around this idea of being a gentleman. I know that many of you watching are looking for a roadmap, a clear path to follow to become a gentleman, and I didn't see anything like that out there. So I decided to invest many hours of my time into making this for you completely for free. And you can take advantage of that right now by clicking the link down below. There's also a free community built into the course so you can get free support from me and your peers. I look forward very much to seeing the progress that many of you will make, potentially life-changing progress, thanks to this new course, the Gentleman Method. So click that link down below and you can start this course in no time. A gentleman must always dress well. And in today's video, I'm wearing a navy pinstripe suit, a blue French cuff shirt from Charles Tyrwhitt with a pair of vintage cufflinks. The tie is from a top secret Italian supplier. This is a prototype for a little project I'm working on. Maybe you can guess what that might be. And then on my feet, I have a pair of brown cap toe Oxfords by Ace Marks.